Good afternoon, students. After the 3 sessions of morning, let's take the last session, and it has very important topic: osmotic pressure and abnormal molar masses. Before starting this lesson, let's I remind you some of the important facts regarding colligative properties. There are four colligative properties: elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, relative lowering in vapor pressure, and osmotic pressure. Dear student, the main purpose of studying these four colligative properties is to find the molar mass of an unknown solute. Suppose you dissolve an unknown solute in a solvent, then you can measure the molar mass of that solute by some mathematical formulas. You just measure the mass of the solute that you dissolve in the liquid and the mass of the solvent in which you dissolve that liquid. By measuring simply the masses of these two components, you can find the molar mass of an unknown solute. So this is the basic purpose of studying the colligative properties. Let's see the fourth colligative property, osmotic pressure or osmosis. Osmosis, biology students know very well from ninth class. All the students studying this topic, the process by which molecule of a solvent tend to pass through a semi-permeable membrane from a less concentrated solution into a more concentrated solution. This diagram clearly indicates that there is a movement of water molecule from its low concentration to high concentration. Movement of solvent particle. Remember it. It is the movement of solvent particle from its high concentration to from its less concentration into a more concentrated solution. Example of osmosis. All of you studied these examples earlier also. Roots generate pressure to withdraw water and nutrients from the soil through osmosis. Soaking of fruits and vegetables in water keep them fresh. Our cells have semi-permeable membrane that do not allow salt particles to flow in and out. The only way then water downs over the salted cell is to allow water to move back and forth. Now the osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is the pressure that would have to be applied to a pure solvent to prevent it from passing into a given solution by osmosis, often used to express the concentration of the solution. It is the excessive pressure which must be applied to a solution to prevent the movement of solvent into it through a semi-permeable membrane. It is represented by pi. It is read as pi. Clear? There is mathematical formula. Pi is equals to CRT, where pi is osmotic pressure, C is the concentration, either molality, normality, or any other units. R is the universal gas constant, and T is the temperature. It means the vapor pressure affected by the concentration affected by the temperature. When you increase the temperature, the osmotic pressure increases, or the process of osmosis increases. Similarly, when you increase the concentration, the process of osmosis also increases. Next slide. Osmotic pressure is a colligative property as it depends on the number of solute molecule. Clear? As we already studied in case of colligative properties, the properties that depends on the number of particles. So here osmosis is also depends upon the number of particles, depends upon the concentration of the solution. For dilute solution, it has been found experimentally that osmotic pressure is proportional to the molarity at a given temperature. Clear? Try to understand this page yourself. Finally, we reach to this formula. This formula helps you to understand that how can we find the molar mass of an unknown solute by the help of the given mass of the solute and the solvent and measuring the vapor pressure. Okay, types of osmotic solution. Try to understand it yourself. There are three types of solutions. Just take screenshot and try to understand. Then osmosis and blood cell, There are three types of solution: isotonic solution, hypertonic solution, hypertonic solution. You know that when a blood cell is dipped in water, then it starts to absorb water because water has more concentration outside than inside the cell. So the water comes inside the cell and cell starts to swell, and at last it will burst because it cannot bear the excessive osmotic pressure. Similarly, when a red blood cell or any cell is placed in salty water, then the water will move outside from the cell and the cell start to shrink. Clear? This shrinking process is called plasmolysis or exoosmosis. Now the next term, reverse osmosis and application. Reverse osmosis, that is, the direction of osmosis can be reversed if a pressure larger than the osmotic pressure is applied to the solution side. This phenomenon is called reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis is used in desalination of seawater. When pressure more than osmotic pressure is applied, pure water is squeezed out of the seawater through the membrane. Now the abnormal molar masses. This is the very important topic. Abnormal molar masses. The colligative property of solution depends on number of solid particles present in the solution. Clear? This point I think very well understand to you. Second point, various relations derived for colligative properties holds good in dilute solution only when there is no change in molecular state of solute. Third point, in case the total number of particles of the solute changes in solution, the colligative property shall also changes accordingly. Clear? Fourth point, by dissociation. When the substance of is an electrolyte, i.e. the substance undergo ionization and the number of particles increases in solution. Clear? During dissociation, number of particles increases by the breaking of the salt. Now the last point, by association. एसोसिएशन मतलब जुड़ जाना, जब दो या दो से अधिक पार्टिकल किसी सॉल्यूट के जुड़ जाए आपस में. When the substance undergo association, two or more molecules of the solute associate to form single joint particle, the number of particle decreases. जब वो जुड़ेंगे तो पार्टिकल्स की संख्या सॉल्यूशन के अंदर कम हो जाएगी, जिसकी वजह से कॉलिगेटिव प्रॉपर्टी पे फर्क पड़ेगा और कॉलिगेटिव प्रॉपर्टी भी कम हो जाएगी. Thus, the mathematical concept, try to understand it yourself by muting the sound or taking the screenshot. It is very important. Now, mathematically, how can you derive a formula in case of association, and in case of dissociation, and in case of association? Take its screenshot and then try to understand. Similarly, this is the mathematics, and then try to solve the numericals. In the last at 2 p.m. I will give you some numericals and some conceptual questions. Make a note of such questions and conceptual questions in your class of copy. Thanks for watching.